What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today, BTC USD. Hit that like button, subscribe, and thank you all for being here. I want to jump right into it. It's the first day of April. April Fools. Yeah, it's a thing. 11 hours, 12 minutes left in the day. I'm not going to do the classic thing that you're probably going to see every single YouTuber do today, which they're going to say, Bitcoin's about to drop through the floor. Yes, I'm selling everything. April Fools. Just understand, if you guys see that, nobody's actually selling anything. Typically, April Fools, I think, is actually a day where we do see selling off. So the fact that we're moving up is nice, but we're really not doing anything. We're kind of neutral. We're up 0.35%. If we look at the price action here, from a high to a low perspective, you can see that we've gone just above the 382, and I did say that I expected we would move up above this high, but I also said I expected we would find resistance between 70 and 69k, somewhere in here. So that first kind of marker, we hit that 69.3k area, has been hit. We could go a little bit higher. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a pullback. I want to look at the short-term stuff. I can see that we've wicked up here and we've wicked down here. If we wicked down here already and now we're back up, we might be bullish. But if we've yet to pull back down to the 236 after interacting with this area, we might still be bearish to this 67.5k area. One more thing I want to say before we get on, maybe two more things. It's a two-part thing. Is that I do believe we will continue to move sideways. Okay, sideways. We'll move down, we'll move up, we'll move up, we'll move down, we'll move up, down, down, up, whatever, until May, June. Okay, until somewhere in that time frame, maybe even July. It's going to be a long time. We're going to be in this consolidation phase, my friends, until June or May. All right, so somewhere in that, and even actually in June, not just like the beginning of June. Oh, my computer is super loud. Hold on, let me quiet that noise down. There we go. That should be better. If anybody was hearing that, that should be a lot better. Anyways, second to that, I'd like to say, stop watching the news. If you're watching the news, you're going crazy, right? Every crypto influencer that I know or that I watch, they're all making comments about this Iran war, and that's fine. You know, you can have your comments, you can have your opinions, you can share them publicly, whatever. But the whole this is going to cause the market to crash stuff, man, it was old a month ago when it started. It's old now over a month ago, or over a month into it, where every single dip that we've seen, this has been the rhetoric, and everybody's just waiting for the other shoe to drop. We're in the same position here that we were here before the Iran conflict started with the United States and Israel and various other countries. Um, we are in the same position here as we were there. Everybody was saying, we're about to rip through the roof, we're about to dump through the floor, and I was saying, we're going to move sideways, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to, everybody's in the same situation. We're going to pump through the roof, dump through the floor. If it's not super bearish rhetoric, all I'm hearing from the other side is super bullish rhetoric. Like we're going to above 100K, 160K, more than that. People are pulling out these weird patterns that suggest any kind of bullishness. But it's like, dude, we're not doing that. We're just consolidating. We're going to consolidate likely until May, right? It's sell in May, go away, but we're not going to sell in May. We're going to probably sell off in June, I think. We might even find our high in June. We could be moving sideways, and then when June comes along, that's finally whenever we get this higher price that's just below 80K that we've long been expecting, right? And I've been expecting that it would be April, May, or June that we saw this high of this range come in. I'm starting to think that it's not going to be in April. If it's not going to be in April, I doubt that we get above this high right here in this move. It could happen. Maybe it does happen. I'm not saying that it can't. And if we see signs that suggest that, maybe I'll change my mind up here. But for now, I'm expecting that we see a lower high, but a higher high somewhere in this range. We probably find resistance just above this high, and that's whenever we'll sell off. We might even go below this low in April before coming back up to this area. Maybe we get the higher high in May. We'll see. But those are all a bunch of maybes and a bunch of confusing different pathways. Not even confusing, but alternative paths. We're just going to move sideways. Nothing exciting is going to happen. Just know that every pump gets dumped into, every dump gets pumped into. We've just pumped over the last 3 days. We're probably going to correct a little bit, and then we're going to come back up, if I had to guess. And that correction, again, should be... Hold on, I'm sorry. Wrong fib. No. Should be around 77.4K. Around there. Maybe just above, maybe just below. Let's look at the short-term stuff and see if we can't figure that out. The RSI refusing to get overbought. You've got every reason to, but you've been very volatile. You've been doing this kind of stuff. Very volatile. A little bit more methodic here, but still looks like you're breaking out of this kind of upward sloping trend. You rejected your overbought zone. Now you're rejecting the 60 level. You're probably going to come down, so I wouldn't be surprised if, yes, we were working our way down. You moved all the way up here, which is nice. You moved all the way up to that just above 69K level as foretold, as expected. And when I say foretold, we've been calling for that since we were at both of these low levels here. Here, I thought this was the low at first, and then whenever we made this move, we saw somewhere over here that we would move a little bit lower, and I did say that we'd probably see a slightly lower low. Nothing dramatic. We went over the dramatic path, but I did say we'd probably see a slightly lower low and then move up to this exact area. Why? Because that's where the golden ratio is. And it's also where the 382 is of the overall move up, but perfect. So here we are. We could even go, it's pretty common to hold this area as support. This is a lesser fib than the overall high here. But we could go to about 67.5K. Did I say 77K? I'm sorry. If I said 77K earlier, I meant 67K. My bad. If I said 77.4K, we're at 68.4K. I hope you guys knew what I meant because I was talking about going down. 67.4K. We might go to 67.6K, and that's it. 382, pretty common to do from the golden ratio. Found support there before. Found support here before. We could go a little lower. Maybe we go down here. Anything's possible, but I wouldn't be surprised if we did go lower from here. Looking like this move up had not much volume at all. So yeah, come back down. I doubt we go below 66.6K. At this point, I would expect that we do go below 67.6K or somewhere around there, though. Okay. I mean, the RSI is taking a somewhat of a bullish stance here, but it is neutral, and we're in an overall very volatile kind of environment, so I'm going to go with the downside. Stochastics look bearish. The MACD had some bearish divergence. We've just crossed red. I think we're gonna move down today probably. April Fools will be a day of red probably. The pump, that little pump in the beginning, that was your April Fool's joke. Looking at the MACD here, the 4-hour time frame has been green. We've been green on this histogram for quite some time. We could be green for a very, very long time. It doesn't have to stop here, but your oscillators are right at the 0 level, right at this level here, where you do like to find resistance, and I wouldn't be surprised if we did. Not only that, but we've also got this kind of lower high trend here, so I'm expecting a little bit of resistance. Stochastics coming out of the overbought zone, bearish, and the MACD, or the RSI, is at the exact same level that it was before when we found resistance. Typically throughout this whole range since the beginning of February, anytime we get to this level right here, here's the beginning of February, anytime we've gotten to this level or above, these have been points at which Bitcoin has found some turbulence, and I think that's exactly what's going on here. I want to see, yeah, look at that, perfect. It's not a line that matters, okay? It just looks like it matters. You're in a downward sloping channel. We're at the top end of this channel. We're getting bearish signals here, okay? It wouldn't be crazy at all from here to even see lower lows. I'm not calling for that. I think that's going to be too easy. I would expect we get a retracement from this low to high here. We get a retracement, and we probably break out of this. Everybody's going to get excited. Then we dump down. And then we'll probably move up. Everybody will get excited that we're above this high. We're going to go above this high. That's going to happen. And then we'll probably move down again. We'll see. We'll see. That's the going thought that I have now. It might not be like that, okay? And calling the future even a few days out is pretty hard, but the ultimate price targets themselves is actually a little bit easier. How it happens doesn't necessarily matter. 68.4K right now. I definitely believe we're going to drop about another $1,000 or more. $1,000 to like $2,000, $1,000 to $1,800, however much it is. But yeah, definitely getting some bearish implications here. It would be bullish. This MACD would look bullish. I just think, looking at the relative instances on these histograms, we don't normally see this much green for this long. Not that we don't see more green. Sometimes we get bigger, but for the amount of time, we don't really see things go past this. And on top of that, we're right at a point where the oscillators do like to find some turbulence. Right here. We're literally right here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that. What did each of these movements represent? Here, whenever we found turbulence, we dropped from the same price that we're at now all the way down to 62.4K. That could happen. We could even go lower. That could happen. Here this time we went from 70K basically all the way down to about 63K. Whenever we rejected here last time, we went from 72K all the way down to 65.7. If anything, actually, maybe I should. Maybe I should take the bearish approach because this is such a parallel and perfect looking channel. Maybe I should take the bearish approach. It's a pretty perfect channel. Maybe I should call for prices that are down here. I don't know. With that, I might have to go short. We'll see. But that would be perfect, right? A drop like that, because look, right over here, support, bam. That actually would be perfect. I am entertaining the idea that this low will not provide the high that I originally thought it would down here and that we were going to go lower. I did say down here that this was subject to change. I'm starting to go with that downside change. Now the thing is, we could move down here. I could see signs of us ready to move up, and then by the time we move up, it could be here that I'm like, all right, this game plan is back on. Got to be fluid with it, okay? We don't know the future, so we adapt as it comes into view. Daily time frame. RSI is very neutral. Very neutral. Not getting a beat off of this, okay, because it's the price action is neutral. Stochastics look bullish to some degree. You're also at the 50 where you could find resistance. The MACD finding resistance here at the 0, yeah, I mean, looks a little bit bearish as well. I could see us going lower. Yeah. Yeah, it could definitely happen. This trend line, again, just doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter at all. We did find support just below it as expected, but now we're back up here. We're not even really respecting it as resistance, right? We went above it. So I'm thinking that trend line doesn't really matter too much. We're probably going to keep coming down, yeah. Maybe we see a lower low. At this point, I'm going to make the call. We're either going to find support between 66.6 to 67.5K, somewhere in there, or we're going to go lower and we'll probably go down to about 64 to 63K, maybe even just below 63K. That could happen. And you best believe there's going to be all kinds of bearish World War III rhetoric coming out of Iran and Israel and the United States from those lows. You best believe it's going to seem like it's the worst. We might even get boots on the ground there, but it won't be boots on the ground. It'll be like special covert ops or something like that, which is the same thing. There are boots on the ground, but it's not the same thing as from like a technical perspective. Like if we want to get nitpicky, yes, boots would be on the ground. There's probably boots on the ground right now, guys. But in forms of like an all-out assault with infantry, I don't think it would be like that. But I don't know. I'm not a military tactician. We're all becoming military tacticians with what's going on in Iran right now. But that's not really. I don't think that means that anybody is smart. I think we're all just taking in information that's been recycled and regurgitated, and what I do with that is I look at that as like a lie. Okay, so if people are panicking about boots on the ground, I literally set it down here, so we're probably not going to get boots on the ground. We're probably not going to have a full-on infantry style assault. It doesn't mean we can't have special ops. I don't know why I'm talking about this, or like covert operations. Anyways, the daily RSI, you're kind of in this area where you might expect to find support. Yeah, maybe. And everything else to me just kind of suggests that we could go down. So I'm expecting we go down. We're trying to see if we find a higher low or if we get a lower low. That's all. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Take care of yourselves. We're doing nothing for a good bit of time, guys. April will not be an exciting month. Don't expect it to be. If it's exciting at all, it's because you're letting various price action and news-related events get you hyper excited with your emotions. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all. Take care. Watch out for that. Bye-bye.